Hello, good morning everyone. A little later than planned. Time ran away with me this morning, but I wanted to show you a little more spooky fun, a little bit more Halloween fun, with this time the harvest dies. So first of all, you may remember I was doing a little Halloween crafting last week, and I wanted to show you the other pictures I came up with. If you remember, if you watched me last week, and if you missed that one, you can see how I created this in last week's video. But we have a series of 4 prints above our fireplace, and I thought I could just make them Halloweeny, by just putting something over them, so I can remove it when Halloween's finished. But little picture will stay up while we have the Halloween decorations up. So I know this is backwards for you at the minute, but you can see how I made that on last week. So a little bit of blending, a bit of masking for the moon, and then some die cuts here. I think these are all from the Festive Flourishes. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what, I'll correct that later if it's the wrong thing. This is from the Pattern Party DSP. So I made a few more, obviously, to cover some are old products, some are new products. So this one is with the Sparkle of the Season dies. So it's a lovely little this black glimmer paper, which I think is still current. And these little ghosties are on that Sparkle of the Season set too. Thought that was cute. This DSP, the purple stripy one, is retired. But this one is also from Pattern Party. And then lots more sponging. I do love sponging colour, so got this one. This is from a Halloween DSP from a few years ago, a couple of years ago anyway, so a little cauldron. And then I think this is Granny Apple Green, and I've sponged black, starting darker in one corner and going lighter. And this is glimmer paper again with bats, that was from a retired Punch a few years ago. I always keep my favourites. And I believe the spider web is retired, but the spider isn't. The spider is out of, I have it out somewhere at the minute. What one's that one called? Can't remember. It's got lights, witches, and in borders. I'll find Festive and Bright. It's called Festive and Bright. I think that's what that one's from. And then my final picture, which is my favourite, which gives you a hint what we're going to be doing later, is this one. So I've got like a spooky sky, all blended colours. Again, I've used those glimmer bats. And this, would you believe it or not, these like spooky tree branches are from the harvest dies. So that is what I'm going to recreate in a card format today. Now, if you don't put in the bats, it's kind of just like a really cool sunset. So you don't have to make this a Halloween kind of project. Leave out the bats, maybe a few less branches, and it's not Halloweeny at all. But I'm going to show you how I created that sky. So there's a lot of ink blending going on, but I think you'll enjoy it. Because I was asked, I then made, someone asked me to make a card for them, and it was the person who I was making the card for, their birthday was on Halloween itself, so I made the front of it a Halloween card, and I used the same background. Someone asked me how I did that, so that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to point you down and show you all the colours that I used. So in ascending order, we had crushed curry at the bottom, followed by pumpkin pie, followed by real red, followed by rich razzleberry, and finally up at the top we had Night of Navy. So put them that way so you can see them all. So that was the ascending order of colours, and I blended them all with our blending brushes. So I'm going to just get them all open here at the top in the correct order, and hopefully I won't jumble them up. So as I said, this could make just a really interesting sunset card. You can use any, you don't have to use the spooky branches. You could use, there's some other beautiful dies in the Harvest die set. Let me just find it to show you. I'll have to get all these big prints out of the way, just a wee second. So the Harvest dies are these, and that is the die that I used. I cut out in black, so I'll do that in a minute, for the branches of the tree. But you could also just have it a very sunset with a silhouette background of these kind of, I'm actually not sure what they're supposed to be, plants of some description, corn ears maybe, or even the flowers. You've got a flower here. Either one that would make it quite an interesting background. It doesn't have to be a Halloween project. Mine will, just because it's Halloween next week, but it doesn't have to be. Morning, Nick. So I've got my white card to start off with. I'm just going to get all my little brushes, my blending brushes. So got them in the right order. So starting off with the crushed curry at the bottom. So ink up my crushed curry. I'm going to put quite a lot of colour on, so I'm not too concerned. Again, I'm not also very concerned about the smoothness of the colour, because mine's a kind of a night sky. And it's kind of Halloweeny, and I'm actually going to use one of the stamps from Nature's Harvest as well to create sort of wispy clouds. So I'm not too bothered about whether it's very smooth or not, because it's going to have some blotchiness over it. So just taking off the really extra bit of ink, the excess ink, but blending over the join here. And some real red. But these blending brushes are beautiful to work with. They are so smooth and they're very soft. And I just made a card using this technique on Saturday, I think, Friday, Saturday. So I haven't washed off the colour, but you can wash off the colour. I kind of tend to keep mine with, I'll use that one for all my yellows, maybe take off the excess, but I'm going to keep it as a yellow sponge, that one for the orange hues, this for pink and red, etc, etc. So next we're going to go for Rich Razzleberry. And try and blend through the red here. And obviously with this, start off gently, and then you can go back and make it as dark or as light as you want. I'll probably put Witch Razzleberry right up to the top, and then come back and cover the top bit with the navy as well, but just have a base of the purple. And then coming back with my final Night of Navy. To make it look more of a night sky. And I've just remembered I've forgotten to do the moon. The whole point of it was to do, oh, we'll add a moon. What I meant to do, I got distracted, was to put down a little bit of masking and create my moon. I forgot. No, do you know what? I'm going to do it because it's a really nice effect. So I'm going to go back. Apologies. Well, Gloria, you haven't missed anything because I'm starting all over again. Good morning to you. I'm just going to find, that's a bit big, that one, if I've got in my little cutout box. There, that'll do for a moon. So we'll start again. Might have to take a little bit off. Start again with my crushed curry at the bottom. I'll go a little bit quicker because if you're watching this in replay, you'll be, here she goes again. So that's my crushed curry, nice and deep. And go for a little bit of pumpkin pie. I believe I forgot to do, that's the second time. When I made the birthday card, I forgot to do the moon as well. So then we're going for a real red. So mix that on top of the pumpkin pie. I could, of course, and probably would be a better idea to use some temporary adhesive or a little bit of washi or something to hold this down. But I'm trying to speed up when I'm doing this twice. I'm just using my thumb. So blend the purple onto the red, keep some purple up the top so that the Night of Navy has a base color to work on. Okay, and then finally my Night of Navy, and I'll bring this from the top down to make it nice and dark for my night sky. And you can keep going with as much colour as you want to get the strength that you would like for this. Hi Christine, good morning. How are you? Cue dogs barking. Here's the postman. I've closed the door between me and them, so hopefully you won't hear them too badly. But okay, I might go down a little bit further with the purple and then a little bit further with the red, just so it's more night than sunset. Actually, can't really see that. Let me move my camera down a little bit. There they go. I was wondering, were they asleep? Oh. And then I might go down a little bit with the orange. Oh, nothing for us today. So you can wash these and reuse them for different colours, but I tend to keep them for the same. Might go a wee bit more with the navy. There. Now, we have a very bright moon, but I'm going to Halloweenize, if that's such a word, the moon by colouring it yellow. As I said, it's all down to the, and I want the middle a little bit blotchy like it is in real life, so I'm not trying to do that too smoothly. Now, Nature's Harvest stamp set itself has this blotchy stamp, and I thought that made pretty good, kind of misty clouds. Again, this is maybe making it a little bit more Halloween, so if your purpose of making this background is just a pretty sunset, then you might want to not add this part. So I'm going to take some grey, which I'm using Smoky Slate because it's not too dark. I think the basic grey will be a little bit dark. I'm going to do, of course, Over the Moon. Just maybe little bits like that. Now, the one thing, of course, that will make this Halloween is the addition of some little bats. And my bats are from, just trying to find the actual stamp set because I had it out. Just a second. My bats are from Sparkle of the Season. A few, as I said last week, I have not bought any particular Halloween supplies because, well, considering we cover the house in decorations this year, we don't normally do Halloween. I don't really send any Halloween cards, but I've made a few things for the house using Halloween supplies. But if you add a few little bats, I've bought this particular set we will be using in my Christmas class next month. But the bats make good little, oops, stuck to it. A good little Halloween addition without having to buy a particular Halloween set. So just a couple little bats. And then the bit that can be spooky, depending on how you take it, is these little, oh, take them out, sorry, this little branch die, and I'm going to cut 2 in black, just have them on either side. I'm not going to have them like my original painting, if you like, because that was quite fair. It's going to be a mildly Halloween card. So I'm just going to cut those with my die cutter. And these are just meant to be kind of branches, not meant to be a particular Halloween product at all, but cutting them from black cardstock and making a moody sky kind of changes it a little bit. So I'm just trying to get those out, just a little bit stuck. Give me a second. So that's one. And just really, depending on what you use, it really changes it, doesn't it? Having black branches, it suddenly becomes much moodier, spookier kind of card. So my second branch, just cutting this out now. I just need to pass that through again. So Gloria, if you're still there, do you make pumpkin pie? Because when we carve out our pumpkins, I always make a soup because I hate wasting it. I think the amount of pumpkins that are round about, it kind of saddens me that they get wasted. So I make a soup. But I thought this year I would ask my American friends for their favourite pumpkin pie recipe, and I might try a pumpkin pie. So I'm going to have my little trees down the bottom like that. And I should, which I always say, after I've cut something intricate, I should have used my adhesive sheets. And I should have used my adhesive sheets. But again, I forgot, because it makes it so much easier to attach if you have the adhesive sheets, and I forgot. So I'm just getting rid of my ink pads because I have a terrible habit of putting my beautiful project face down in an ink pad. So I've got my adhesive here. I'm just, excuse me, I'm going to have them overhanging, and I'll cut off the excess. But just going to put this on this side. Try and get a tiny bit here, just on the edge. I'm not going to put the whole thing because I'm going to have one kind of overhanging on either side. And I won't bother with that any more than that, I think. So kind of like that. Okay, and then this one we will have coming in maybe from there. So just on the trunk and the side of the branches. So if you're watching on replay and you're from the other side of the pond and you make pumpkin pie, if you could put your favourite recipe in the comments or a link to your favourite recipe, I would be very much appreciative. And I was going to say, with not too unusual ingredients that we wouldn't get over here, but you wouldn't know what we wouldn't get over here. So I'll just go with whatever you send and try and work it out. So, down here, just putting a little dab of glue down on the bottom of the branch. So, just going to cut off the extra bits. So Christine, you might have missed that I did a whole beautiful background and realised I'd forgotten to leave a space for my moon, or to mask off the moon. So that is why normally the reverse of this card would be just white, but because my brain is not working on a Monday morning, I have a reversible background. So just cutting off all the little bits of extra tree. And then I think on my, I do have a Happy Halloween. Might use that. Just get a strip of black and have Happy Halloween across the bottom. I will emboss that in white. Oh, hold on. It's the first time I've used this. It was a little bit sticky and sticking to my fingers, and I can't get it down straight. So the best way is just put it flat. I think it's too wide for this, is it? Yeah, I'll go on the diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to get a little strip of black. I have a piece of black scrap here, and get out my Versamark and my little embossing buddy. And then just stamp that. Ooh, it's upside down. And I'll trim this down when I'm finished. So happy Halloween in Versamark. And then get my white embossing powder. Which I keep in a little tub. Oh, tiny little speckle in the corner there was my little brush, which would annoy me. If I can get that off. There. Okay, and then going to heat emboss that with my heat tool. So we are quite lucky in that sense that as some of Stampin' Up sets are, what would you say, multi-seasonal, so that they work for Christmas, autumn, New Year, Halloween all together, so that you have a little bit of everything in a set. So I'm just going to chop that up, and oh, it's just too, oh, I forgot I might have to cut that down a little bit. Cut a little bit off this side there because it's a little bit raggedy, because I had originally planned to use the other side. So I'll just take the teeniest sliver off. A little harder with those extra branches, but yeah, that's a cleaner, sharper edge. It's not too bad on the other side, so we'll leave it like that. So then I'm going to take, which I put out already, I've got my my black card base, but I want a little hint of a colour around the side, and I was going to go for, I think I shall go for crushed curry, just to brighten it up ever so slightly. You trim it down a little bit because it is a little too flat. So I think I did this at 9.7 centimeters. So I will make my crushed curry layer at 10, which would be my normal card first layer kind of size. And it's already at 14.3, which is good. So ready for that. So let me just check that I like that and it's cut properly before I stick. Yeah, so I just like the little hint of the yellow just around the side. You need to have it nice, no raggedy edges when your card base is black and your card is a lighter color. Oops. But yeah, I think I like that. And then we can have Happy Halloween across the bottom, like so. Wish it was a little bit longer now. I wish it was the full length. Is that going to annoy me? It is going to annoy me. I'm going to make it longer. Sorry. I'm going to do it again. So that is 9.7. So I want it to be right to the black, which is 10. So I'll just do, I'll wait till I've done it. So just going to do that piece, which, gosh, I forgot which side was the 10. That's the 10. Okay. Just going to do that one more time, because I just want it the full length. So apologies, won't take me long. There's our Happy Halloween. It's a bit skew-iff, isn't it? Just make sure I get all the little tiny extra drops of embossing powder off, so it's a nice crisp clean black. I'm just embossing or heat embossing this. Morning, Caroline. Okay, so I'll just go back in. It's kind of annoying me because it's a little bit skew-iff. Not much, but enough to annoy me. Yeah, that's more straight. And then just get that cut on the other side. That still looks a bit. As I said to someone ages ago, it's only as good as your eyes, and if your eyes are a bit wonky, you're still going to cut it wrong. And my eyes are very wonky. So, not sure, is that? That doesn't look straight to me. Might end up using the other one, because at least I know the other one is straight. Let me just see if I can trim this one more time, because I think the bottom of it is not as straight as the top. It's got a bit of a sticky out bit. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to use the other one. I'll be here all day trying to get perfect sentiment. Right, there we go. That'll do. I would have preferred it the full length, but I can't sit and do a third one for you. So I'm going to attach my spooky Halloween sky. Only spooky really with the addition of the bats. If you leave out the bats, it will just be a beautiful sunset. Bit of a fiery sky. In fact, there was a gorgeous sunrise this morning, if any of you were up for it. Unfortunately, I wasn't, but I've seen it on Facebook. A lot of people were up for the morning, beautiful red sky this morning. Shepherd's warning, hey? In fact, it wasn't unlike this, to be honest. It was much more pinky than purple and red, but pinky red as opposed to purpley red. So, and then we will get our little Happy Halloween at the bottom. So it's not too spooky, not scary. I don't do scary Halloween. I like spooky Halloween. No zombies, no blood and gore. Just a hint of witchery. So just popping up my sentiment on a little banner across the bottom, just down by my tree trunks. Trying to get that even. That's straight. There. And I will just take away my blended background. See, is that one? No, that one's worse. Hold on. Just so it doesn't look too dirty. There you go. So that is my Happy Halloween card, and that is how I created my background for my print that I was making. So this is one of my final print, I'll say print cover that I made for our Halloween decorations, and then you can recreate that into a card. Of course, it's just really showing you how to blend a background and how to mask with that moon. I wouldn't recommend holding down the moon with your finger. I would say a little bit of temporary adhesive or washi or something that can hold it, that you don't have to hold it with your finger, because it's a little bit risky. You move it and then you don't have a crisp edge on your moon. But that is my card for today, and I hope you like it. Again, really what made it spooky is the addition of the bats and maybe the freaky trees cut out of black, but you could do it with the other harvest dies and it wouldn't be, it'd be kind of just a pretty night sky with some foliage, but it's up to you, but I just wanted to show you that this morning, and I hope you like it. Take care and have a great rest of the week, and thanks for watching live, and thanks for watching on replay if you're watching on replay. See you next Monday. Bye.